மேடையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அன்பார்ந்த தோழர்களே, இந்த சதசில் இருக்கக்கூடிய தோழர்களே, this is all I know in Tamil. So my Tamil is over. Friends and comrades, we have had very meaningful interventions made by Honorable Guru Chief Minister Shri M.K. Stalin and all other friends who have spoken before him and after him. We have thought-provoking interventions, but we have had most inspiring action, that is collecting some solidarity, material solidarity for Cuba. And this has been taken up in different parts of our country. It was related by Rohini ji that a very poor woman who is making some idli and selling it, she donated 20 rupees. When we had the solidarity campaign in early 90s, which Thiru Shri N. Ram referred to here, that time students, young students, who were having some pocket money to buy sweets or something, they were donating it. Artists donated paintings. In Chennai also, I think Mr. Kamala Hassan, Ms. Hariga, they all, helped in putting up the exhibition and auctioning the paintings to generate funds. In Delhi, Nasruddin Shah, the very famous actor, he came and he read poetry of Pablo Neruda when we opened up an exhibition to auction the works, which included M.F. Hussain and such outstanding artists. Few weeks ago, I happened to go for a marriage because that marriage was from the family of a martyr, student martyr, Comrade M.S. Prasad. So when I went there, I went late because other programs were there, but they were waiting. And the newlywed couple, they handed over 2 packets, 10,000 rupee each. One for Cuba Solidarity Committee and another for Palestinian Solidarity Committee, which is also in operation. So this is the involvement with which people are participating in these campaigns. We can speak about many things. I was asked to look back when I saw Kalaignar, Karunanidhi and others. Umayyaluvaran Shivaraman also is there in a corner in one of the pictures. When we have this very important gathering today, it has a very deep connection with what we had decades ago. Mr. N. Ram was very active in organizing that event. Dr. Radhakrishna's son, another renowned historian who is no more with us, S. Gopal, he was there. Kalaignar, of course, when references have been made. But great actor Shivaji Ganeshan was there. Now, Shivaji Ganeshan's distant relative, Rohini ji, is here from the same field, you see. So, with transformation of time, there's a transformation of the solidarity movement and it is further strengthened today. And why we need to strengthen this movement? I don't think this is a solidarity that we extend to the fighting people of Cuba. In fact, This solidarity movement is a solidarity movement with all those who are fighting for transformation. It's a solidarity movement with us. We are also fighting in our country against domination, against discrimination, against subversion of federal and constitutional values. What is Cuba? Many things comrades explained here, friends explained here. I have my own experience when 1978, along with Prakash Karat, Manik Sarkar, Biman Bose, and many others, as student youth leaders, we visited. Actually, Sri Ram was very youthful. He should have been there in that delegation, unfortunately. Maybe in the next delegation going to Cuba, Sri Ram had visited. We all visited together along with Comrade Surjit. In fact, we were looking for, Shashi Kumar also was there. We were looking for an interview of Fidel Castro. But you know, Fidel is very elusive. When Time and Newsweek and all that, they waited and waited to get his interview. That time, Fidel was very busy with the solidarity work. Otherwise, we would have read the interview with Fidel Castro by renowned journalist Sri N. Ram. That did not happen. That's a different matter. You see, when we went to Cuba in 1978, I was a student activist. I was state president of SFI in Kerala. I never dreamt that I would be able to go. That time I had a very long distant view of Fidel only. We waved. But later on, of course, we had opportunity to go near. But the first impression we got, Cuba has wonderful beaches. Varadero. You had gone to Varadero, I hope. But during the Batista Rajai, those beautiful beaches were not accessible to the colored people of Cuba. Only European white people, even Latin American white people cannot go there. Not to speak of African Cubans, that is how we refer. They could not go anywhere near. When we were stunned with the beauty of those beaches, and youngsters were there, Afro-Cubans. To describe, I think I can say, black is a very beautiful color. And if you go and see Cuban boys and girls, you would understand how beautiful they are. So they were black like charcoal, but they were so attractive. So with the help of interpreters, we were asking those young Afro-Cubans, what did you get after revolution? We asked them. They said, we have free education to any level. We have food. We have sports facility. Healthcare. Then they said, above all, we are considered as equal human beings, and we could come to this beach only because of revolution. Revolution gave us this beautiful seaside and beach. This is what they have said. Cuba continues to be like that. Now fast forward, what is the blockade? This is the very strange thing. The economists of America, Datra is sitting in front of me. When economics is being discussed, what do they say? In trade, movement of capital, there should not be any barrier. Free movement of finance capital, free movement of trade, commerce, no barrier. Mr. America, then why are you putting this blockade on Cuba if you are for free, travel, free movement of trade and commerce? They speak about free movement of trade and commerce when imperialism and finance capital can take advantage of that. They are, with this blockade, they actually are strangulating a country. That is actually is happening. I don't think even blockade is a proper word to describe it. Economic strangulation of Cuba. You just imagine a family living in a village of Tamilnadu or a person living in a housing block. If no neighbor is permitted to have any operation, no shop is selling any provisions to that house, they cannot move. This is how Cuba is being singled out, and they are trying to strangulate Cuba. Now it has been mentioned that military threat over Cuba is there. Bay of Pigs, we all know, is also known as Playa Girón. American CIA wanted to directly attack and finish Cuba. 1961, 2 years after the liberation and revolution. Cuban people, under the leadership of Fidel, Che, Raúl and others, they were all frontline fighters against this Playa Girón attack, and they were defeated. They have their declaration. They have their defense committees. Every household has a defense arrangement. If American imperialism attacks Cuba, every single Cuban will defend socialism and their country. If they are going to defeat Cuba, then they would get only a piece of land. They will not see a land with people. This is the kind of political, ideological commitment the people of Cuba are having. Friends, some people raise the question, America is a superpower. Maybe multipolarity will develop or not. We are watching now, European Union with Trump. Trump behaving not as the President of United States of America. Trump is behaving as though he is the President of the world. That also we know. How all that would impact upon various blocks and all that is a different matter. But at the end of the day, everybody says that it's a single superpower, USA. How can you stand up? How Cuba can stand up? How long Cuba can stand up? Militarily and all that, America is a superpower. We can say that. But if a people ideologically committed to truth, committed to freedom, and if a people inspired by an idea of equality, freedom, independence, then that people can fight and face any military assaults. This was first proved in the modern recent history of the world by the people of Vietnam. In 1954, they defeated French imperialism in the great battle of Dien Bien Phu. Then American imperialism took over. They were bombarding Vietnam. Incidentally, when American bombing of Vietnam, when we refer that, today is 12th of August. 80 years ago, couple of days ago, in the first week of August, We know what Americans did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This year happens to be the 80th anniversary of the most horrendous atrocity that had happened in history, committed by US imperialism. When Second World War was over in Europe in the month of May, America did this May, June, July, 3 months after the conclusion of Second World War in Europe, to show the world that we have this weapon of mass destruction. So, everybody should behave. We were discussing about Vietnam. The people of Vietnam, under the leadership of Ho Chi Minh and Communist Party, after having defeated French imperialism, they defeated American imperialism also. Perhaps the greatest solidarity movement for socialism happened those days. In the United States of America, massive movement. There is a slogan, Tumhara naam, Hamara naam, Vietnam, Vietnam. Your name and my name is Vietnam. Vietnam proved that if a people is inspired by an idea and committed to freedom, committed to defend the nation, then no mighty imperialism or their modern weapons of mass destruction can prevail. The indomitable courage of people will prevail. Vietnam showed that to the world. Now Cuba is showing that. Therefore today we say, Tumhara naam, Hamara naam, Cuba, Cuba. With this spirit, we have to continue our solidarity activities. For some people, certain information might have reached them, might not have reached them. One day, I was discussing about Cuba with a comrade. So then I asked you, Cuba is being encircled. But you know, on Cuban soil, America has their naval base. So this particular comrade who reads and who knows so much, he said, is it so? I said, yes. That is Vandanamo, this tiny island of 11 million or 13 million. Rohini said 13 million, over 11 million. I don't know what is the latest. 12 million, yeah. That is 1/6 of the population of Tamilnadu. Am I right? And I say 1/3 of the population of Kerala. I know that very well. 35 million is Kerala population. So, such a population, peace-loving people, to finish them off, what American imperialism is doing, it is indescribable. So we have to stand with Cuba, because Cuba represents the indomitable courage of humanity for independence, self-respect. There Periyar also comes. Periyar started the self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu. So some Periyar is there in Cuba. Mahatma Gandhi is there in Cuba. Bhagat Singh Dutt is there in Cuba. Rabindranath Tagore also is there in Cuba. All these three in a single person. Who is that? Jose Marti. Jose Marti, his birth was on 1854. By saying this, I have only 3 more minutes left. 8 o'clock, Honorable Ambassador and myself, we have to go back to Delhi. In the very famous work, the speech made by Fidel in the court when the trial was going on after Mongada of 1953, the history will absolve me speech, Fidel says, the author of this Mongada struggle is actually Jose Marti. Fidel links the revolutionary movement of Cuba with Jose Marti. Who is Jose Marti? Many of you know. But there will be few who might not have read about him. He became a martyr at the age of 42. His year of birth was 1853. He got martyred in 1895. That is the same year of the death of Frederick Engels, incidentally. He fought Spanish colonialists and he was killed. So he is Bhagat Singh. He is a martyr of freedom struggle. Then how is Mahatma Gandhi? For entire people of Cuba and for Latin America, he is like Mahatma Gandhi. He is a national hero. Then how is like Tagore? He was a great poet also. So, three great characteristics rolled into a great, hero. And Fidel was such a great revolutionary genius. He decided that the entire project of Cuban revolution is a continuation of what Jose Marti did. That's why in the History Will Absolve Me speech, he said, my program of struggle is not authored by me, but it is authored by Jose Marti. Because of this tradition, we are all very confident that the struggle of Cuban people would be victorious. Hasta la victoria siempre. Thank you very much.